goes up in the ride. Science magic side by side. Experiments we can't deny. Let's see how high we can fly. In the lab or in the yard. STEM with Lex, it ain't too hard. We build, we move, we see the spark. Learning here leaves a mark. The science with Lex, come on, join the quest. Hands-on learning, we're the best. Hey, hey, come on kids, let's do the test.
Hi guys, welcome to Lexus STEM Lab, and today we have a STEM careers interview. Today I'm on with Miss Aries Hamlet, and I'm going to let her kind of talk to us about what she does. So we're going to get started. Could you go ahead and talk to us and, just tell us your name, your title, and where are you from?
Hello, everyone. My name is Aries Hamlet. I am a physician assistant from Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice. Okay. ATL in the house.
ATL is in the house.
Thinking back when you were in grade school, what kind of student would your teachers have described you as?
I think my teachers would describe me as a hardworking student. Um, I did all my homework. I always turned it in on time. However, sometimes I was last minute with when I would turn it in like a procrastinator. So doing homework at the very last second and then turning it in. But I still did all my work and turned in my homework on time and did what I was supposed to do. I didn't get in much trouble.
Okay, no trouble. That's good. That's good. Did you have any favorite subjects in school?
Yes, my favorite subject was math, surprisingly. I loved math. I wanted to be an engineer when I graduated. When I was thinking about what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wanted to be an engineer. I went all the way up to like calculus 2 in high school. So that was my favorite subject. My worst subject though, my favorite subject that I hated was science. Surprisingly, I hated biology, I hated chemistry, um, I hated physics. I liked the math part of physics, but I didn't like the concepts part. And I swore up and down that I would never do anything in the sciences because I just was not good at it at all.
And do you think maybe your love for math kind of influenced your career path?
No, I think so. Well, yes, actually. So, with my love being math, I wanted to be an engineer. And then when it was time to apply to school, I thought about it and I was like, well, I really wasn't good at physics. And if you want to be an engineer, you have to be good at physics. So I can't be an engineer. And that's not true. I probably shouldn't have went with that thought process. So that's why I didn't pursue that. But I had a lot of people in my family who are in healthcare, especially my mom, who's a nurse. And I was starting to kind of like science a little. I liked medicine and I liked helping people. Um, and I liked learning about new diseases and new issues and what was going on. So I was like, okay, well, I'll be a doctor. Like I'll pursue something in the medical field. So me loving math ended up canceling out the engineer, but it worked out for the sciences.
That's so good. And what degrees or certifications do you have, or to become a physician's assistant? What was that like as far as education?
Yeah. So I have a bachelor's in biology, even though I said I hated the sciences. I ended up majoring in biology. And then I have a master's in business administration, which is something that you don't need to be a physician assistant. It's just something that I wanted because I wanted to understand business and I wasn't sure where my future would take me and whether I would be in like corporate roles or be on the business side of things. Um, and then after you get your bachelor's, it doesn't even have to be in science, but some type of bachelor's degree. So you have to go to college and do a 4-year program. And then you can go to PA school, physician assistant school afterwards, as long as you have the prerequisites. So the classes required to get into PA school. So like your sciences, maybe like a math, maybe 1 or 2 math classes, um, and maybe like an English class. But if you have all of the classes that they need, then you can go into PA school. And then you also need a lot of hours working with patients. So when I was in college, I did some work as a nurse aide or like a tech, and that's how I built my hours for PA school.
Great. And then could you share with us what schools you went to get these different degrees?
Yes. So for my bachelor's, I went to the illustrious Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Come on now. Shout out to the
I
Rattlers.
love a good rattler. Hmm.
And then for my master's in business administration, I went to the University of Georgia. Like I said, I'm from Georgia, so that was going back home. And then for my PA program, I went to Emory University in Atlanta.
Nice. All right. And then what skills would you say that are important for your field? So to be a physician's assistant, what skills, whether it's technical or soft skills, are necessary for this?
So I think the soft skills are most important because you interact with so many patients. You have to be able to communicate and communicate well and effectively. You also have to be empathetic and be kind to people and also understand what's going on with them and how they're feeling. Um, because most people at the doctor, they're sick and that's why they're at the doctor. So you have to, be kind to them and understand that this is probably not their favorite day. But being able to be emotional with them is important. And also communication, which I think I mentioned earlier, but not only do you have to interact with the patient, but you have to interact with your coworkers, and it's such a team-based setting. So being able to work on a team is super important and collaborate because you have nurses on your team, doctors on your team, physical therapists, occupational therapists. There's just a lot of people that work together to make the patient healthy. So those are the biggest ones. And then technical skills. I mean, everything's online these days, so you do want to have a little bit, be a little computer savvy to get things done and figure out ways and shortcuts so that you can write your notes about the patient. But honestly, a lot of that stuff you can learn later. The biggest thing is being a good provider to your patient and to your coworkers and staff.
That's great. And then for your career path, what made you decide to be a physician's assistant versus, I know you said, physics kind of crossed everything out for engineering, but there are so many different avenues in the medical field. What made you say Aries, PA? How'd you get that?
Yeah, so originally when I was in school getting my biology degree, I wanted to be a doctor. And then my last year of school, I kind of started thinking like, I am not this dedicated to becoming a doctor. Like I love medicine, but I wasn't ready to commit like the next 8 years, hypothetically speaking, to medicine because I knew that I wanted to be in different areas in my career, whether it was going into like healthcare consulting or healthcare sales and things of that nature. So I wanted to get into something that was flexible, but still I wanted to learn medicine because I wanted to be able to understand heart issues and lung issues. I thought that stuff was really interesting and I wanted to continue to be able to help people. So during high school, my senior year, we had an internship. It was like a requirement for us. We had to do an internship, and I was shadowing a doctor because I thought I wanted to be a doctor at that time. But they had a PA there, and she was doing just about the same thing. I mean, she did everything the same. She was super smart. She was like 60 something years old. She'd been a PA for so long. She was super smart, super inspiring. She was an older black woman, and that was just good to see somebody who looked like me really doing the thing. And she also went to Emory, Emory's PA program. So, that kind of got my head turning at that point in time. And then when I went to school, I was still stuck on like, I'm going to be a doctor. And then my senior year, when I was like, I don't know if I'm this committed. And then I thought about her and I was like, I could be a PA and I could still have everything that I want in life. I could still choose a different path in the future if that's what I want, or I can continue my healthcare journey if that's what I choose. And that's just kind of how I settled on the physician assistant path. And I'm super, super happy about my decision.
That's great. Would you consider her to be your role model, or did you have any role models or mentors?
Yeah, she was strict though. She was like a role model. She was very old school, very strict, very like you have to be on your P's and Q's. When I was applying to Emory, I reached out to her, although she hadn't heard from me from years. But that's important to being kind to everybody. So I reached out to her and she gave me a lot of advice on how to apply to Emory's PA program. Um, So she's not somebody I probably should reach out to her, but I did have a couple mentors that helped me throughout, and I still consider them mentors. One of them was another PA who went to Emory's PA program, and luckily my mom worked with her because my mom's a nurse. And my mom was like, my daughter wants to go to PA school, and she connected us, and she let me shadow her, and she's been a great mentor, and she really got me all the way together when I was applying to PA school. I probably wouldn't have gotten in without her. And she taught me the importance of not procrastinating, not waiting to the last minute to submit things, and just like putting in your best work every time. Because for a while I was slacking on turning in my application and applying, and she was like, "Hey, if you're not serious, then don't include me because I want people who are serious." And that kind of just got me together. And that's something that I reiterate to mentees that I have now, because the PA program, it's very rigorous to get into. It's very difficult. It's very competitive. So if you're not serious, then I can't be serious with you. But sometimes you need somebody to kind of light that fire up underneath you to get you going. So she was great, and she's still a mentor to me now. Now she got kids and she's married and all that
Oh,
stuff, but she's wonderful.
that's great. What does your day-to-day life look like as a physician's assistant?
Okay, my day to day. So I am a primary care physician assistant. So I work with adults, and it's basically like going to the doctor's office when you get your, if you're having a cold, if you're having sick, if you need your physical, your yearly physical at the doctor, then you would see me or my coworkers. So I start my day at 8 a.m. My first patient is at 8:20. So throughout the day, I see about 20 patients a day, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with an hour lunch in the middle. And I see things like people, checking their blood pressure, making sure the blood pressure is good, managing their blood pressure, managing diabetes. Oh, my back hurts, helping out with that. Or if they went to the hospital recently in the last 2 weeks, then we want to follow up with them within 2 weeks to make sure that they're doing okay. They have everything they need, whether it's medications or they need to see a specialist, and we make sure that they have those referrals in. And also just your generic annual physicals or sports physicals for school or for work. So just checking to make sure everybody's healthy. We do a lot of blood draws, and checking people's sugar levels, their cholesterol levels, and making sure that their overall bill of health is clean. And for our older patients, we want to make sure we're doing our cancer screening. So our annual mammograms for our ladies, checking the breast, making sure we're checking for breast cancer, colon cancer screenings. We're putting those orders in, prostate cancer screenings for men, and just depending on the age, we do pap smears for women. So lots of different things, but just your day-to-day basics, run-of-the-mill stuff at the doctor's office.
Lovely. Do you have any of your equipment with you or any supplies?
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
So here, this is my stethoscope. This is my backup stethoscope that I keep at home because it was custom made for me. It has my name on it, for my aunt and my uncle. But this is what I use to listen to the heart and the lungs. You can also listen to the stomach. And so different sides are for different things. This side is a little bit more specific for like sounds that are a bit more sensitive. But typically I use the bigger side, the diaphragm is what we call it, but usually the larger side to listen to the heart and the lungs. So this is my stethoscope. I got some other things. We got this medical bag that I got in school. They gave to us, so I keep it handy. Everything that I usually need is at work, but this is a tuning fork. I believe is what it's called. I never use this, but you can use this to test for hearing. So it basically works off of vibrations. We learned it in school. We don't use it for real life. Um, this big thing is part, it's for my blood pressure cuff so I can check people's blood pressure. I'm missing a part. Hold on.
That's all right. We can put it back together, Humpty Dumpty. It's cool.
Okay, so this is the blood pressure cuff, and you wrap it around your arm. You may have seen people do it. You wrap it around your arm, and then you pump this thing up, and you use your stethoscope. It's a little bit complicated when I explain it, but you use your stethoscope and you tighten this on your arm so that you can hear and essentially measure what the blood pressure is for your patients. That's the manual way to do it. Now they have machines, which is really, really easy. And then another cool device I have, sorry, I'm doing all my show and tell
That's
here.
all right. Do you take the blood pressure on each patient?
Yeah, so for all my patients, we get vital signs. And so the nurse typically does it, so I don't have to do it, thank God. The medical assistant does it actually. So we get vital signs, and your vital signs include your oxygen level, so how well you're taking in oxygen. It includes your blood pressure, which is what I was showing you there. It includes your heart rate, and it includes your temperature, and your height, and your weight. I think I got all of them. And your respiratory rate. So, like how fast you're breathing. So, that's that. So, we need a blood pressure. We need all of that information for every patient that walks in because those are the critical things that we need to know immediately. This is my otoscope. So, this is how I look into ears and your mouth and your nose. I don't know if it has battery. Let's see. Oh, it does. So, it turns on. And that's how I'm okay. So that's how I'm able to look into the mouth, the ears, the nose, and the throat. That's that. And then if you pop this thing off, you have this, which is, I can't remember the name. But anyway, you look in the my fundoscope, sorry. This is the fundoscope, and this is how you look into patients' eyes. There's a
Hmm.
little light that comes out. So I would take one part. I don't use this often because I'm not an ophthalmologist, I'm not an eye doctor. But this is how you look into their eyes, and you can see the blood vessels in their eyes. The eyes is actually the only place on the body where you can see blood vessels clearly. So that's what this is for, to make sure that they're not bleeding back there, and that everything's where it's supposed to be. I don't tend to use it often because, like I said, it's not an eye doctor place. Usually we just send everybody to the eye doctor if they have. But yeah, those are my main cool gadgets that you might see on a day-to-day basis at work.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Can you think of anything funny or a funny story that's happened at work for you recently?
Um, funny. Let's see. Work is not always that funny. I think my most fun interactions are usually like patient interactions, just like common conversations and just getting to know them is probably when I laugh the most. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but I laugh all the time with my patients because I'm very unserious in general. I like to have a good time. So I try to relay that energy and give off that energy during my appointments, so that, patients are relaxed and they want to be open and they feel like I can laugh and joke with her. So I can't think of an example right now. But if I do think of one, I'll let you
Perfect. In your opinion, what is the most rewarding and challenging aspects of your job? I know you kind of touched on it with hanging out with the patients and just showing them a good time, making them feel comfortable.
know. Yeah. That's the most rewarding. And the most rewarding is also following the patient and continuing with them. So they come in, they have this issue. I had a patient who she had a thyroid issue. So our thyroid is in our necks and it controls a lot of our hormones in our body. And she was from Mexico, so she didn't speak any English. She'd recently come here, so we had an interpreter on the line. And she basically there's two type of thyroids. Your thyroid could be either overacting, over producing hormone, or it could be not producing any at all. And hers was not producing any at all, but she was also taking a medication that was causing that. So back where she was from in Mexico, they told her that she had what we would call hypothyroidism. So she was started on this medication that's supposed to help. Let me make sure I'm telling this right. She was given the wrong medication for the opposite issue. So she was told she had hypothyroidism, and she was giving her a med. They were giving her a medication to basically replace the hormone. Anyway, when I met her, there was nothing left. There was zilch in there. There was nothing in the bank. And so I ran some labs and we did some blood work, and it came out that she had the opposite. She had hyperthyroidism, And that's why. So the medication she was taking was making it worse. I know I'm not telling the story well. But anyway, we switched the medication, and over time, you could see she was doing much, much better. So every time I was following her like once a month to make sure that we were on the right medication, it was working, the numbers were improving, and just to see her, like her symptoms go away, because she was feeling very anxious, she was having like diarrhea, her heart was racing, she was having chest pain, all signs of just your thyroid doing way too much. Um, and so once we got her on the right medication, you can just see like every time I saw her, she wasn't as anxious. She was calm. She wasn't having the palpitations. Her heart was doing okay. It was beating properly. And so that was super rewarding for me because it's like, oh, like I fixed a problem and I improved your quality of life because obviously she wasn't happy with she was shedding weight, like she was skinny, like it was just a lot going on. And so that's the most rewarding thing for me, just seeing helping patients, figuring out their problem, listening to them. Because a lot of times I work with a lot of like low income, so they're just maybe on the poorer side. They don't have a lot of money coming in. And a lot of times those patients kind of get casted off and people don't want to listen to them and they don't get the quality care that they deserve. So trying to give them that time every time that they come into the clinic is super important because they have concerns just like everybody else and they deserve to be listened to. And if you listen hard enough, usually you can do the proper work to solve the issue. And they appreciate it and they remember it, and you appreciate it too because you feel warm and they feel warm inside.
Mm.
Um, I think what was the other part? The
Yeah,
challenge?
the most challenging aspect.
Yeah, the most challenging aspect can also be the same thing of like when you can't fix something. Or when you're like, you've done everything and you're like, I don't know. But I think it's super important to know when you're kind of past your limits. Because being in primary care, there's a limited stuff. We do the basics, but as soon as it starts getting too specific, we usually refer out to the specialist, which is what they're there for. So kind of just understanding when you've reached your limit is difficult, but it's important so that you can help the patient further and get them the right care. So sometimes that can be tough and frustrating because, like I said, I love math. So sometimes I think of like medicine as like, oh, they have these symptoms, so it equals this problem. But, and I like definitive answers like that. But medicine is not always definitive, and that's something that I've had to learn. And so sometimes it can be disappointing, but there's so many resources to get patients the help that they need. So that's important.
Absolutely. What advice would you have for a student who's interested in pursuing a career as a physician's assistant, like yourself?
Yeah, I would say you can do anything. Like, you don't have to like the sciences, you don't have to like biology and chemistry or math. If you are passionate about just learning about medicine, learning about different problems that the body has, you can become a physician assistant. And there's so much flexibility in the career. You can do any specialty that you're interested in. So if you want to do primary care like me, you can do that. But if you like the heart, you can be a cardiology PA, or if you like the stomach and everything that has to do with the stomach, you can be a gastroenterology or GI PA. If you like the brain, you could be a neurology PA. You can do any specialty or field. If you want to do surgery, you can be a surgical PA. So, I mean, the options are limitless. And then if you decide I want to be a surgical PA for a year and then I want to switch and I want to do cardiology, you can do that too. So there's nothing limiting you. Um, and there's so much freedom while also having the guidance of a doctor over you to help you out, especially when you're feeling short or when you feel like you don't understand something. There's always somebody you can call to get help. So just study hard in school. You can major in whatever you want to major as far as your bachelor's. Just make sure that you're crossing off those classes that you need to get into the PA programs that you're interested in. It's super important. But I had a classmate who was a dance major undergrad, and then she did some time working with patients. She ended up hurting her hip, which is how she got into medicine. But I say that to say the options are limited. Like, you can still do whatever you want. You can do psychology and be a psychiatry PA. It's whatever you want to do. So just study hard and also try and get patient care interaction. So being like a CNA or a nurse aide, a tech, a medical assistant, a phlebotomist, which those are the people who draw your blood. Um, if you wanted to go to nursing school first, you could, that counts. But anything hands-on interacting with the patient counts as direct patient care. and just building your hours there. At least I say getting at least 2,000 hours before you apply to PA school. Um, is super, super good and makes you competitive. But that's the biggest thing. And then community service hours. We want you to help out in the community because you'll be working with the community. And then shadow some PAs and see if you really like it, if you're really interested, and you can do it.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Outside of work, after having a long day, what are some of your favorite hobbies or activities?
Yeah, so I've started Pilates. It's
Ooh.
very fun. It's better for me than going to the gym because I never really liked the gym and I never feel like I know what I'm doing. But with Pilates, there's an instructor and somebody walking you through. It's very hard though. But Pilates is fun. I've always played tennis. I'm not good at it at all, but I like the exercise of it and I like when I like get a good swing in,
Hmm.
but I'm not good. And this just trying out new restaurants because I'm in a new city. I've been here for a year now in Raleigh, North Carolina. But just getting to the city and meeting new people has been what I usually do to unwind. I usually call my friends after work, just chilling, catch up on TV. Like I do anything. Like it's just so good to work and get home and not have like homework to do or have to study. So
Um,
just trying to embrace this new journey of mine.
Absolutely. So, what TV shows or movies are you kind of into?
Mm, I love a good like drama or like an action thriller. Scandal was one of my favorite shows
All right.
ever.
Okay.
Shonda Rhimes, shout out to them. That was good. I loved Grey's Anatomy, but Grey's Anatomy started doing too much. McDreamy died. I
Okay.
couldn't
You had
keep up.
enough of it.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't spoil that for anybody.
Sorry to
Um,
hear.
and then I feel like I just recently finished something. Paradise, that was really good on Hulu. I don't know if you watched that, but that was good. But yeah, I just watch shows that are just
Yes.
fun and interesting and make you want to like keep
Keep
watching.
watching. Something to get your mind off of work, and now you're just in a relaxed
Exactly.
state.
Exactly.
So, if bills and responsibilities didn't exist for you, you were just living La Vida Loca, having a good time, do you think that you'd find a different field or do you see yourself in a different job?
Um, that is an interesting question because I always say like I don't have anything that I just really, really, really love to do. Like I do truly enjoy medicine, but I'm still trying to figure out myself and like what my passions are and my hobbies. Um, I would probably like travel and like be a content creator or something. I mean, they
All
don't
right. I
seem
love
like,
the
you
travel
understand?
content creator. Yes, ma'am.
You
Getting paid to
know, give you
travel.
an
I love
update.
it.
Hey, listen, I'm at this resort and y'all
Hmm.
should check it out. They're covering my stay. Y'all should come check it out. But I would probably do that. I've also really been into like, let me not lie. Sometimes I like fashion, but I hate shopping and I hate trying on clothes. But like I love seeing other people do fashion. So like
Okay.
I don't know what that would look like for me because I'm not really that creative. But if I could like shadow a fashion designer like La Roche, I don't know, the Met
Hello.
Gala just happened
Hello.
yesterday. So like now I'm really like, ooh, that would be really, really fun and really dope just to learn how they think. I would also love to shadow like a like CEO because I do see myself being like, I want to run eventually in the future, like operations of a hospital or a clinic. I do like the business side of things, which is why I got my MBA so early. So if I could shadow like a CEO or a COO, ideally a black woman, but it doesn't have to be. That would be really, really dope. But I've been trying to follow more people who do that, more like older black women who are CEOs and COOs and running businesses just to kind of see how they carry themselves and what they do. But I would love to just like be a fly on the wall for like a week and see how
Okay,
they
let's
run
see
things.
what you're doing. Now, Aries, me and you went to college together. I've seen your
Yeah.
shoe game. It's very much on point. So don't act like it's not, and don't act like you're not a sneakerhead. Don't lie to these people on YouTube. Tell the truth.
Really?
Tell the truth.
I do like sneakers. I love sneakers in college. I still love them. I think now I've been trying to be more girly. So I haven't been getting as many sneakers. I've been trying to like wear sandals, but I just love a flat shoe. Like I can't
That's
wear
something to keep
heels.
you steady.
Yeah,
Do you wear
I
sneakers
love
at work?
it depends. I have a pair of sneakers, but sometimes I wear slides, like the little Birkenstock Boston slides.
All right. Come on, giving
Um,
PA professional white coat.
yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So at work, I always thought that I would be the type of provider who would like show off my sneaker game at work. But then I was like, I don't want my shoes running around in the clinic and then I'm bringing them at home. So now I have like my work shoes, although I wear my slides everywhere. Not in the house though. But I have my work shoes and then I got my sneaker game shoes.
Okay,
But
okay.
now that it's summertime, I'm gonna really bring them out because I love sneakers with some shorts
Mm-hmm.
and I could
A
really
nice
see the
cute set.
shoes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. If we were to be making a TV show about Aries, think about Aries. What would the theme song be for your show?
Really, Lex?
That's right. I got you there. Mm-hmm.
The theme song or the title of the
The
show?
theme song. The title is Aries.
Oh, okay.
You Aries. Yeah.
The theme song. Come on now. That's you trying to tap into my creative
Yeah.
side.
Tap, 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 tap it up. Come on, sweetie.
Let me see what I'm playing on Spotify right now, really quickly, not to be
Okay, shout out to
unprofessional.
Spotify. You were an
Shout
host.
out to Spotify. Okay, you need it. Um, Probably not the best songs to choose from. I don't know. Only because Deja Vu was on my mind yesterday.
All
That's what's
right.
coming in my head. And I have this hair and I'm feeling real Beyonce, like anything Beyonce, really. I love Beyonce. I really love her. She's a great performer. And she's also an inspiration because she really shows you should put 110% into everything you do and people will respect you for it. They will love it and you will never put out anything that isn't less than quality work. So
Absolutely.
just a little
Okay.
Beyonce plug.
So Beyonce, if you were listening, if you were watching, or Blue Ivy, hello, my girl.
Yes,
If
shout out to
y'all
the
are
manager.
watching,
Yes.
we need a manager. So if you are watching, please make Aries a theme song, or can we use one of your songs for her TV show? Please and
I
thank
need
you.
it.
Amen.
Yes, please, please.
All right, Aries. So what advice would you give to a student that may be interested in STEM, but they haven't found a school subject yet that they're connected with or anything that they almost like?
Be open because I don't feel like I found one that I connected with. I just kind of had to choose one. Um, but be open to every class. If you're in high school or if you're in middle school and you're taking your science classes, just because you don't do well doesn't mean you hate the subject. Sometimes it's the teacher, maybe they don't teach the subject well. Or sometimes we're not, it's on us, we're not studying as hard to grasp the material. And so sometimes we think, oh, like it's hard, but we really didn't prepare ourselves. And so when you don't prepare yourselves, it reflects in your grades and you think it's hard. So just be open, try new things, experiment. If a teacher invites you to do something, just do it. Like, see if you like it. Um, you might not love everything 100%, but as long as you love it a majority of the time, that's okay. And you can make anything that you want into what you want it to be. So if you like chemistry, find a way to make chemistry fun. If you like math, find a way to make it fun, make it work for you. There are so many careers that you can get into that touch on these subjects, but not necessarily like focus solely on these subjects. If you like computers are great, especially in the day and age that we're in now. Computers are booming. Um, and so just take advantage of everything. Like I've never been a super computer savvy girl, but I love the AI stuff that's out here now, and I'm taking advantage of it and trying to learn it and trying to implement it in my practice in the clinic. Um, and so that's just kind of how everything kind of correlates and runs into each other. But just be open and nothing has to be linear. Like if you say I like biology today, you don't have to like it next year. You can change and try something else and say, you know what, I'm not feeling biology. I like physics now. And once you're not so strict on yourself and so hard on yourself, you'll be surprised how many doors open for you.
That was some good advice. Where was this advice for my freshman year in college? Like, that's something I
We
would
were
have
still
used.
trying to figure it out.
Oh man, I wish I could go back in time and be like, girl, you're okay. It's all right.
Right.
But
Right, literally. I feel like in college stuff feels like it's the end of the world if you don't get it right then and there, but
absolutely.
it doesn't have to be that
Life
way.
still goes on. I didn't pass
Exactly.
organic chemistry the first time or the second time. Baby, we're still here. It only
Still
took three
here.
times, but that's all
You
right.
know, and that's fine because we have like a STEM laboratory now, and we're out here teaching the kids about science and what they can do with STEM and how
Hello.
important STEM is today.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Aries. And where can students and parents go to learn more about your field or your organization?
Yeah, so Google. You can Google physician assistant. You could Google physician assistant programs to see what's near you and what the program is like. A lot of them do open houses. So where you can come in, they have different days throughout the year where you can come in. They'll give you a tour of the school. They'll tell you kind of what they go through in their program, how long the program is, the cost, and things of that nature. So that's the best way to get hands-on experience and to really see like, what are y'all doing here? And then you have the chance to interact with current PA students. But if you have any questions, I mean, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. You know, my name is Aries Hamlet, so you can find me there. I don't think anybody else has that name, to be honest. So you should be able to find me. But yeah, and reach out to people too. Like, don't be afraid to do cold emails or just email people and say, hey, like I'm interested in this field. Do you mind if I come shadow? We had students in my PA program who were interested in the program and they just came and sat in on a class with us and we're like, who are these people? But the options are limitless if you just ask. So reach out to the program director or the admissions director, and they can give you different opportunities and answer questions that you need.
All right, Aries. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thanks for getting in the lab with Lex. We really
I'm so
appreciate it.
happy to be here. I love the lab.